My helper today is Lisa Stahlbaum, and she is our dietary manager here at Butler County Healthcare Center. And what we're going to be making today is salad in a jar. So the first step we're going to be doing is just cleaning our vegetables. The reason you might want to make salad in a jar instead of on a plate is because this is a quick and easy lunch idea. When you put it in a jar, you can kind of stack up your ingredients a little bit more, and they're not going to get as wet and wilty as they would if you were just in a flat container. So what we're going to start with is the denser ingredients, and so like the radish, or we're going to use some fresh asparagus too. You might not know that you can eat asparagus raw. It actually adds kind of a nutty flavor and texture to the salad, and so it makes a nice spring salad. So she's going to start chopping up the radishes, and those are going to go in the bottom of the jar. It also looks really pretty in the jar when you alternate these colors in there too. Okay, we've got some beautiful color in there. The next step we're going to have is our cucumber. We're going to make that just a little bit fancy to make our lunch even more fun. And we're just taking a fork like this and running it down the side of the cucumber. This is going to give us just a pretty pattern on it when we're slicing it up. You can eat the skins on cucumbers. You don't have to peel it. Some cucumbers have a little bit more of a waxy skin. This one is nice and young and tender, so it's going to be extra nutrition. The darker green colors are going to give us extra nutrition in there. So she's just going all the way around and making one stripe down the side with her fork. Okay. Next, she's going to start slicing that up. Isn't that so pretty? You can see how the little pattern is in there, and this is nice. You can even use this on top of a salad, like a macaroni salad or something where you're using some diced up cucumber in there. But for us, we're going to just use it to make our lunch even more special. Okay, next comes the onion, and Lisa has just taken both of the ends off the onion, and then she's going to peel that outer layer of the onion off. The reason we need to do that is because it gets a little tough on the outside, and that outer skin just dries off, and it will be kind of hard to chew. So we take that layer off. And she's setting it on the cutting board and slicing, just nice thin slices. Taking this for lunch, you can use your discretion. Some people don't like to eat onions at lunchtime just because it leaves a flavor in your mouth, but you can decide how much of that you want on there. But again, that's going to be just such pretty color in there. Okay, the last thing that's going to go in is our lettuce. And again, this is a nice tender spring lettuce that we got from Pekarek Produce. And we're going to set it on this. We have just a paper towel laid out. We just want to make sure that we get any extra moisture off there. Since we're making it ahead of time, that extra moisture could make our lettuce a little bit soggier the next day. So we want to make sure we get that nice and dry before it goes in our jar. And she's also just taking the ends off, and that's just to remove some of the tougher end pieces off of there. Sometimes those might get just a little bit bitter as well. Okay, the final step with the lettuce then is to just tear it into smaller bite-sized pieces. Most of the time, if you're making lettuce ahead of time too, it's good to just rip the pieces instead of using a knife, and that's just because that keeps it from getting brown a little bit more too. There's an interaction between the knife blade and the lettuce that kind of turns the edge of the lettuce brown. So you can either get a special lettuce knife that's made out of plastic, or you can just rip it by hand if you don't have too much lettuce to chop. So we're going to just fit as much of that lettuce in there as we want to. If you wanted, you could also just, if you didn't have some protein along with this, you could add a boiled egg or some chicken or tuna or something in this too. That would probably want to go more towards the middle, and then still keep that lettuce on the top. And then you would just keep your salad dressing off to the side. That would get a little bit soggy. So there we go. Lettuce in a jar. Beautiful.